Okay, so welcome everybody to this Telam Network September meeting. And we have a special theme, a special guest today. She is Professor Jonna Häkkilä from University of Lapland, telling about the project Nuohtti. That was a project for Sami archival materials, getting them better found, and it was pan-European, and it was a cooperation project. So Jonna, please take your turn.
Thank you. Okay, I try to share my screen now to have the slides. I need permission. It says host disabled participant screen sharing. So if somebody can enable the screen sharing.
I think Sandy will do that.
Okay.
I've just made you a co-host, so let's see if that lets you share your screen.
Okay. Yes. Okay. And here we go. Are you able to see my slides? Very good. Okay. So, my name is Jonna Häkkilä, coming from the University of Lapland at the Faculty of Art and Design. So here in Finland at the Arctic Circle in Rovaniemi, this is where we are based. And what I'm going to talk about is Nuohtti, developing a user-friendly portal for searching Sami cultural heritage. And this was developed in an Interreg project in collaboration between University of Lapland, so us as the coordinator and me leading the project, then University of Oulu doing the technical development, then University of Umeå doing usability and some piloting in Sweden, then Finnish National Archives, Sami Archives, which are located in Inari in the very northern Finland, and then the Sami Archives in Norway. So Finland, Sweden, and Norway in this consortium, and especially in the big role these Sami Archives, Finland and Norway. And so in short, this Nuohtti is a search portal, sort of like a Google for digital archive materials around Sami, indigenous Sami culture. And what we wanted to do in this project is basically to improve the access to the cultural heritage materials. And especially this is made for Sami community, the indigenous Sami people themselves. So that is the ultimate motivation. And they are really the target audience for this development project. So little bit of a background. So Sami people are living here in the northern Scandinavia. They are scattered in four countries. So Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia. And there is quite a bit of this colonial history in with this Sami history, and the background of this kind of project is really this that much of the historical materials and cultural historical materials are today scattered around Europe, around the world actually. And they, for instance, photographs, some artifacts, some pieces of like handcraft, and different recordings and so on, pictures, paintings, and so. And people who have traveled all over Sami country in the past, being explorers or priests or people doing some trading. So they have taken these artifacts with them, and now they are all around the world. And there are these vast collections elsewhere. But since the Sami people are here in the north, and also because it's not a country with big institutions, then the access to these historical materials has been quite poor. But now we live in the times when this decolonizing movement is growing, and it's quite strong. And also we live times when there's this repatriation or rematriation of the artifacts. And also we live at times where digital technology gives new opportunities to do this kind of work. And so this is the time is really good for this kind of work, that using technology to return the materials and improving the access to the old cultural historical materials. So there's several big trends now going on. So there's also this big global trend going from physical to digital, and this happens also in the archives. So this is actually a picture from Inari, from the Sami archives, and this is all the physical materials they have there on the shelves. But now there's more and more digitized material. And then, of course, with the digitalization, it's much easier to get access over distance. And with this indigenous cultural heritage materials, there's this movement of decolonialization, and this improved access and wish that communities can access the cultural historical materials. And then there's also this movement of revitalizing the culture. So learning from the past and bringing some of the past, for instance, handcrafts or even words and languages alive again. So there's a lot of motivation behind this kind of digital access projects. And this Nuohtti search portal, it was developed in EU-funded project between 2018 and 2021. And so this work what was done in this project was really, there was three main tasks. So developing of this search portal tool, but also charting the existing Sami heritage archives materials which exist in, because nobody seems to know all the places where this material actually exists. So that was one thing, to map where we can find these materials all together. And then the third big aim or goal in this project was to develop these ethical guidelines for ethical use of this kind of digital indigenous archive portals and materials. And this is a special project in the sense that this was done as a development, like research and development project. But I'm really proud that it managed to really create something which is we can say that it's a product level search portal, and it's really out there in the use and continues to be out there in the use. So this Nuohtti search portal is currently hosted in Norwegian Sami archives, and it's managed by three national archives and Sami archives. So in Finland, Sweden, and Norway. What kind of goals we had when we started this development work? So first of all, we wanted to create one point access to several digital archives. So not just one, but like something that where the user could search different places and the archive materials stored in different physical locations and under different institutions. We wanted to create modular so that you could later on add more archives and more institutions to the service or under the service. Also scalable in a sense that it can really expand to cover more and more materials. And that, of course, is something what you have to think from the technology viewpoint and architectural viewpoint. Also, we wanted to have a search portal with localized languages. And so this Nuohtti is now localized to 5 languages. So English, and then Northern Sami, and Finnish, Swedish, and Norwegian. And it is developed so that if somebody has money to localize more languages or include more languages, it is technically possible. And also this is really for real use, for real end users, not just a group of researchers or ourselves in the project or so on, but for the big audiences. And then this mapping Sami archives in Europe, and then developing ethical guidelines related to the use of digital Sami heritage archives materials. And for this, because this work is very big and versatile, we really needed to have a multidisciplinary team to be able to meet these goals. And this is a picture from the kickoff meeting from 2018. So it makes me really smile to see all these great people and all the this is like where we were really in the beginning. And so what was remarkable from the beginning, so we really wanted to engage the Sami communities and get input from them, so that it's not just somebody comes from outside and develops something, but really this aim to get this portal working so that it serves the Sami community's needs. And so these user-centric design methodologies were used, and also this heavy involvement of getting input and feedback and engagement from the Sami community. And I really have to again praise the teamwork and say that it was a really good teamwork, and this kind of project is quite challenging to lead. So it is very complex from the technology side, and I was selected to lead this project because I have quite multidisciplinary background myself. So I have technology background in computer science, and then I have design background in user-centric design. And then what I really wanted to do is to build up a team which integrates and where people can trust to each other, and where people can also have fun with each other. And so that is something what we really tried to do in this project, so that everybody works together and we visit each other in these 5 locations. Then Corona came and we couldn't visit every place, but anyway, and really this kind of that we together go and get to know about the Sami culture things and and we visited the Sami archives and Sami cinema festival and so on. And really that was one of the best parts, that people were really getting new friends. So this multidisciplinary work, basically, it includes, of course, the Sami cultural heritage knowledge. So that's an essence that it is in the center of the whole project. Also, then we needed the knowledge from archives, like what kind of archival systems there are, how these archives do work. Then software development, and actually quite good software development skills. And I was very happy with my lead designer at the University of, the technical lead designer at the University of Oulu, who could carry out these architectural and software interfaces and so on. And then we also need capabilities in user interface design, graphics design, service design, usability, and also this law and ethics work. So that's why we had the Faculty of Law involved. And there, I had an excellent PhD student who was working for us and doing all the legal background work on these different ethical guidelines and regulations and lessons learned from other cases, for instance, in Australia and so on, with this Aboriginal archives and so on. And these are some pictures from the working. Here, the picture which looks like an Excel sheet. So that was actually some development work on how to create text input for these special marks and so on for North Sami. So there was like also this kind of like a little bit linguistic development work also what needed to be done in the project. Well, the project started as a normal project, but then of course Corona came and everything had to be done remotely, and so that was like an extra challenge. All these team meetings and then running the pilots with the community via remote and using remote technologies and so on. And for instance, in the upper corner there's a picture where Saya from my research team, she is conducting a video call with a school with North Sami children, and she is presenting the Nuohtti search portal prototype to the children in the Sami class, and then the children and the teacher are commenting back. Okay, so this is how the search portal looks like when you open it. I think this is probably the development version, so almost the final prototype. So because one of the goals here is also to support the use of Sami languages, and here North Sami, it was really important that it is kind of like the first option is that it opens in Sami. So that was very, very important, and also it's symbolically important, and that we have this Sami language, so that it's really, there's more content developed for Sami languages, and that's very important because of the revitalization of the languages and so on. And then basically you write there in that field, you write your search term, and then the portal gives you results. And then there's more information about the materials, maps, and also the timeline. And here you can see this symbol with it's a stickman weighing these two like right or wrong kind of symbols, and that is the access to the ethical guidelines. And that was really important that that these ethical guidelines were integrated into the search portal and in the user interface so that they were somehow always visible and you could access and get more like information about the ethics. So this is altogether the project. So it was quite complex, many parts. So in the beginning, what we had is this mapping the Sami archives collections, developing software interfaces to digital archives and data harvesting from the archives, and also development of ethical guidelines. And they all started at the same time. Then we progressed to the concept design, and then on the technical side, the software front end and back end design. So basically the user interface and then the service or server end. Then developing the user interface, really, and looking at the usability, testing the user interface, like is it understandable? How should the components and the layouts be? And then implementing it. And then starting adding this content to the Nuohtti service. Then after that, because the ethical guidelines work had been done there as a separate stream, then we started integrating the ethical guidelines to the user interface. And then in the end, we had pilots, both in Finland, Sweden, and Norway, for people to try out the service, and then doing the final polishing, the documentation, the transfer of the service, and then the localization to 5 languages. And here are some pictures of the from the during the project. Also, this here in the like at 5 o'clock, you can see this map. There's information about the places like where we found these different Sami archives and the locations. So for other people and for other researchers to also know about them. Then this ethical guidelines development was that was a really one special thing what we did. So how we started that was of course like mapping the existing ethical guidelines. So that's really with the expert in law doing that, and then formulating the guidelines for this Nuohtti case, and then not just formulating them in the in a long text, but really like how we could integrate them into the user interface. And for that we then developed different versions. So we did a visualization of like a kind of like a comic strip visualization for people to notice these guidelines. And also we did a quiz where you could you had some questions and then you could try out your knowledge or what you thought about the ethical use of these archives materials. And those kind of things were really important because if the guidelines are just a long text, they are felt that it's really important that it is there, but people just never read them. And then we really used much effort that we somehow got people to get engaged with the ethics and engage with this knowledge about the guidelines. And there's some pictures of from the development process. And this is how the user interface looks like. So this is like I just did now today. I did an example search query in this Nuohtti search portal, and I searched with the word dog in Finnish, koira. And what is quite special there is that we wanted to integrate this map and to provide knowledge and this kind of one visualization of where these materials had been collected, or where they have been tagged to have been found, or where they originated. And that is based on our usability testing and user testing and these pilots. That is like very interesting information for all the local people. So everybody is interested, like, oh, can I see, is there some materials from the area where my family comes from, or from my home village, and so on. So that was that has been really, people have really engaged with this map feature. And also we have here the timeline, which shows like when the materials originated, and then you can span the timeline and then limit the search what you get in there. Then charting Sami heritage collections. So we contacted these different memory organizations in Europe. So altogether we contacted 163 different organizations, where 59 replied that they have some materials in their archives related to Sami culture and Sami people. Yeah, and altogether 40 organizations out of these 163 who were contacted, 40 organizations had started digitalizing the material. So this is also very, very valuable information, especially for researchers. And altogether 10 of those answers we got, we could say that they have like large collections of collections which are available through online search services or online services. So this work is of interest for Sami cultural heritage researchers, for instance. And this work was conducted by Sami Archives in Finland and Sami Archives in Norway. Then the development work. In this phase, when we were almost in about the end of the project, we had integrated memory organizations. You see the list here. So the National Archives of Finland, the National Archives of Norway, Item Museum Sweden, and so on. And there's also materials from Berlin and also from Norway. And this is something what I'm really proud of, because this like exceeds the target what we had. So we basically, or I was basically thinking in the beginning of the project that we get like maybe 2 or maybe 3 archives which we can integrate. But it turned out that we really managed to integrate a lot of these archives, because of course the development work takes a lot of time, and then when you start integrating different archives, it still needs it's not just press a button, but it still requires like a handwork on the interfaces and so on. So this is really exceeds expectations, this result. And later on, when we transferred the service first to Finnish National Archives, and then it was later transferred to the hosting of Norwegian Sami Archives. In that point, still more materials were added. So kind of like after this development project ended, and that really proved that and showed that it is modular enough and scalable enough that you can bring different archives in there. And at the moment, how Nuohtti is available, there's over 40,000 items you can search online. Yeah, really really proud of that. Then in the end, I want to say a few words about this pilots in the field. So that was part of the project, was this community engagement and trying out the prototype in the search portal prototype with the community and getting feedback and then improving the design. So this picture is from very north in Finland at the school of Kilpisjärvi, and then there with the school kids and the teachers. And so we both piloted the search portal at school, and then in the evening we had like a reception where the people from the village could come to visit and try out the search portal and give feedback. So altogether we organized several pilots in Umeå at the cafeteria in Sami Cafe during the Sami Cultural Week. Then in Jokkmokk, Sweden, with the Interreg Nord event, Borderless Opportunities for Sami. Then in Kilpisjärvi school, and then Vuotso school. So 2 schools in Finland, where one was done online. Then in addition, we had this big pilot in 5 public libraries in Finland. These libraries are located in Inaripello, Rovaniemi, and Utsjoki, so different part of Lapland in Finland. And it was organized as part of the library's mission to promote the local culture, local cultural heritage. And then we had this search portal there for people to try out. Unfortunately, this was still at the times when there was some corona restrictions and mobility restrictions. So not as many members of not as big audience as we had hoped for, but still they're available for public to use. And with this, I just in the end want to thank you, the amazing project team. It's about this size of the team. Of course, some people were changing during the project, but amazing work with this group of researchers and archives people, archives professionals. And so here's some important links or nice links. So the Nuohtti search portal, nuohtti.com, and then there's YouTube video. I could maybe put it in chat there. You can then have it's like a 1 minute video which introduces this Nuohtti. Thank you.
That's great. Do put that in the chat and then we can
Yes.
copy that. Well, thank you for your presentation. I'm going to stop the recording now so that people can ask their questions freely.